Happy Life Results book group.
Hey everyone.
We're in the hero stage 3, and we're in a it's a section called Do This, and there's a number one, do this, and it's right after baby talk, baby steps. So this is one of those sections where you actually apply it.
Yep. This is an application. This is where you do something.
Yes. Okay, so come up with a model of a fully integrated self that works for you. This should include the conscious and unconscious working together as one.
Don't get overly attached to your model. Be open to reinterpret and adapt it, and remember to periodically do just that.
All right, this is it. This is it. This is where we start like figuring things out and applying it, and then looking at the application and seeing the results of the application in daily life. And it's really exciting. Okay, so I wanted to share with you one of the models that I've used. I've used a lot of different ones. There's been a progression. I could just briefly mention a few of them. One of them was feeling like I was in an optimal, ideal relationship with my subconscious, and I thought about a partnership. So like if a business partnership, I thought about how it would be any of the ways that would make a business partnership not work, and any of the ways that would make it really effective. So I thought of it as a partnership. That was my model for a while, where both partners were equal, both of them had a shared vision, and so I thought a lot about this. And then I kind of was like, well, we're not really two parts, because of when we talk about how so much of it is this cooperation, and we don't know in any given moment how much of it is the conscious and how much of it is the subconscious. So I'm like, viewing me as two parts could be somewhat limiting, and so I switched to a oneness, kind of I feel connected. I feel like my conscious and subconscious are two parts of one whole, so a feeling of oneness. And so then just recently, we kind of did this analogy. It spurred from two ideas. One idea is if two people were to try to draw something using the same pencil, and so the pencil is kind of like the physical body, and then the conscious and the subconscious are the two people's hands and drawing something together. And we've actually done this exercise together, and then with our team and with the kids. And it's this partnership, yes, but there's so much more that's shared that's going on when you're both trying to draw something. And we found that having a really clear image that you were trying to draw helped. Like if you had an actual image right there in front of you that you were trying to draw, that really helped you to go in the same direction and actually create something that looked like your image. If I had an image of what I wanted to draw and the other person had a separate image, or we had no image,
we just kind of either do loops, or it just kind of doesn't do much. Yeah,
and it's so fascinating because there are times where I feel like I have control, and times when the other person feels like they have control, and then there's times where I don't feel like I have control, but they think I do.
Yeah, and the drawing is a mess.
It's a mess.
It's a mess. It's not a drawing. It's a mess.
Not. It's just squiggling lines, and it's not at all coherent. And so that was one insight that I had in this. And then the other one was dance. When two people are dancing, and when there's a communication between the two people, sometimes it feels like there's a leader and a follower, and other times you're just taking a suggestion that's so faint that you don't feel like the other person was leading you. You just were following a suggestion, and instantly it became your idea. So the suggestion of the movement. And so we've even tried this where you just touch fingertips. We've done this with the kids too, where you're like, okay, where are we going? And you take turns so that you can get a feel of what it feels like to be the lead and the follow. And then you shift into this, I don't know who's in charge, but let's just see where this goes. And so those are just two. I have a third one. Okay, I'll share my third one. So my third one is, when I lived in Thailand, we would ride bikes a lot, and sometimes the bike would need repairs, and so it was about a 10-minute bike ride from my house to go to get the repairs done, but like a 30-minute walk. And so if a bike was broken, I didn't want to just walk the bike the 30 minutes, and in Thailand it's really hot in the sun. And so what I would do is I would ride one bike and then take the broken bike by the handlebars and just have it I would guide it along the road, and this particular area had some really nice wide bike paths, so it didn't feel too dangerous. So I just rested my hand on that second bike, and whenever I tried to control the bike, whenever I was like, okay, we're turning left, I would try to bring my bike, that second bike, left. It would jerk, sometimes going right instead of left. Like it would buck like a bucking bronco. It just didn't obey me when I tried to tell it what to do. And it was a process of learning to realize, so what I would do, and this isn't what actually happened, but I'll tell you how it felt. What I would do is I would rest my hand on those handlebars and just imagine in my head that I wasn't doing anything to steer that other bike. I just felt the connection and rested my hand there. And to be honest, at first I thought I wasn't doing anything. I thought it was just me connecting to this other bike, and then I didn't have to use my arm to shift to the bike at all. It just felt like me resting my hand there was enough. And so I would just, that's what in my head, I told myself, just relax your hand, don't try to steer it, don't try to make it go any different way, and just the more relaxed I was, the more it would parallel my movements. And so I was talking to Jason about it, and he said, well, you actually were moving and making micro adjustments. And when those adjustments are so tiny, infinitesimal, just tiny little adjustments, it doesn't feel like you're trying to accomplish it. It doesn't feel like you're forcing or making the bike move. It just moved. It was really amazing. So I took those 3 things and I created a model in my mind. And this was one of my breakthroughs that you helped me a lot with, because I was confused. What's going on? Why do sometimes the jerking motions get the opposite of effect? Like I'm trying to get it to turn left. Why doesn't it turn left? You know, I was trying to understand it in a conceptual way, not in a physical way.
I'm her favorite sounding board.
Yeah, he's so willing. So willing. I appreciate it so much. Yeah, so if you have someone who can listen to your ideas and talk them out. When I don't have him available though, I write a ton, and I also audio record myself just talking, because I'll come to some sort of sense of it eventually, even if I don't have someone to talk to. So anyway, so I took those 3 things and we came up with a phrase, and we called it light touch on the pencil. And that to me represented what I gained from really thinking a lot about all 3 of these examples. And so what it was to me, it is, I can't even explain it to you. I just had these examples, and then I thought about this oneness, this partnership, this light touch on the pencil with my subconscious. And there aren't words, I'm sorry.
It's like trying to say how you catch a ball if you never experienced it, kind of thing. It's like...
I know when I'm doing it. You know when you're doing it, but you don't know how to teach someone else to do it.
But if you're looking for that, if you're paying attention, if you feels like you have no clarity, or you feels like you're yanking, it feels like things are, you wanted to go this way and you're going the opposite direction or a side direction, you're like, what is happening? That's when you start to put these things into play to see what's happening. And are you okay, all the stuff, all of the things, all the concepts working together, the how is available. It's just a process of testing and trying and learning.
Yes.
So then you learned how to talk as a baby. So here we are again. This is a partially new skill. You're managing your state somehow. If it's not the way you want to be managing it, if there are times you feel ways you don't want to feel, if there are results you're trying to get and it feels like it's too hard or you can't do it, or you're not even making progress towards the results you want, we're talking about a new way to change that.
Yeah.
So
stay tuned.
Talk to you later.
See you tomorrow. Bye guys.